Hey guys, what's going on? This is Shadow, and finally, after about a month and a half of upgrading my Raidraptor deck and finally getting stuff for it because it was sorely outdated, I'm finally able to bring you my Raidraptor deck profile of December 2020, and this is post Phantom Rage. I'm going to be uploading a profile of my Blackwing deck upgraded because I actually did finally upgrade that, and look out for that video. But before I get started, I just want to wish you guys a Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays, and just hope you guys are staying safe and everything. Thank you so much for watching my videos, and if you haven't yet, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to this video. Hit that notification bell so that way if there's any new videos coming up, you'll actually be able to see them, you'll be notified of them, and please post a comment section below. I always love reading them, and I always love being able to respond back to them. So finally, without any further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Alright guys, so this has been a long time coming in my opinion because I have been working on this deck for a while. This deck sorely needed to be upgraded. I mean, it was really bad. So we're going to start things off with 3 copies of Vanishing Lanius. Before I go any further, I do not have Tribute Lanius because, for one thing, 3 copies cost about $85 and up. That really sorely needs to be reprinted. So I don't really feel comfortable paying that amount. And I don't think, unless that's your main thing, or like if that's your hobby and you're very serious and you want to buy that, you can go for it. But I won't touch that. So I've worked this deck to not have Tribute Lanius. So as a result, I've got Vanishing Lanius, which is, in my opinion, just as good. And when he is a normal special summon, I can special summon a level 4 little Raidraptor monster from my hand. That's what you want to do, is you want to get field presence on here, so that way you can, start Exceed summoning, start using the Phantom Knights cards that are in here and everything, and just building a board and getting that Ultimate Falcon out and getting those Fog Blades or those Raptor's Claw out, so that way you can start negating your opponent's stuff. And then I've got 3 copies of Mimicry Lanius. This is basically my searcher of the deck, because when he's in the graveyard during my main phase, I can activate its effect, and I can get a Raidraptor monster with a different name and add it to my hand. So he's good to be able to search for Raidraptors and add them to my hand for more, synergy and more consistency. Okay, we've got 3 copies of Raidraptor Strangle Lanius. Now, this is what I was talking about when I said some of the newer support. Strangle Lanius is really good because it allows you to special summon him from your hand if you have a Raidraptor face up on the field. So it's another way to get your field swarmed. And then finally, I'm going to have 3 copies of, get it real quick, Raider's Wing. And I was really excited about finally getting these. This is a really good addition to the deck, because if you have it in your hand and you have an Exceed monster on the field, you can special summon this from your hand or in the graveyard. So the idea is for you to use like a Force Strix, have that on the field, special summon this from the graveyard or your hand, and then activate a Phantom Knight's Brigandine, and then that way you have 2 level 4s, and then you can go into a Dark Rebellion XYZ Dragon and then go into Dark Requiem. Now, what makes Raidraptor Wing is so good and just crazy is he allows you to, if he's attached to the XYZ monster, the Exceed monster gains the effect of being unaffected by other card effects. So mainly he's another Ultimate Falcon or a Full Armor Master if you play with the Blackwing deck. So that's why he's very important in here, and he's really good. Alright, this is my own personal tech card. You've got 3 copies of Raidraptor Booster Strix. You don't have to run this. I run this because it's kind of like my version of a hand trap. You know how I have DD Crow on my Blackwing deck as a hand trap? This is another one. If they attack a Raidraptor monster, I can discard this card from my hand to destroy the attacking monster. So it's kind of like a hand trap Sekretsu armor, which I thought was really cool. Okay, you got 1 copy of Singing Lanius. Singing Lanius is good because if you have an Exceed monster on the field, just like Raider's Wing, you can special summon this from your hand. So it's another level 4 that you can get. Next, I've got 1 Blackwing Zephyros the Elite. One thing I really love about Blackwings and Raidraptors, and both in general, is they have such good synergy with each other. You can have a Blackwing deck that has Raidraptors in it, and then a Raidraptor deck that has, Blackwings in it, and they work so well. And he is good for searching using the effect of Lystrix, that you can use that to Exceed summon for Force Strix and then keep that combo going to build up for your higher level Exceed monsters or your Dark Requiem. Okay, I've got 3 copies of Heal Eagle. This is another special summon from the hand. He just special summons from the hand if you have another Raidraptor on the field. And then you've got 3 copies of Painlanius. Painlanius is great because he can modify his level based off the monster. If you have at least 2 Raidraptor monsters already on the field, you can special summon this card from your hand. Or if you have at least 1 Raidraptor monster in the hand, you can special summon this from your hand. And he basically copies the level of the monster that you're choosing to use it for. The only downside is you do lose life points, but it's not that much. I mean, it's a very, very small amount considering what you can get out of it. Okay, and then last but not least for the non-Raidraptors is just the Phantom Knights of Silent Boots. I'm only running 1 in here because he allows me to get the Phantom Knights rank up force, and he's also searched for using Rusty Bardiche, which is what you're going to want to do because you want to be able to keep that synergy and consistency going in the deck to be able to start building up your Exceed monsters like I said before. Alright guys, that's going to be it for the spells and traps. Not spells and traps, that's going to be it for the monsters guys. Let's move on to the spells and traps. Alright, we got 2 copies of Raider's Nest. If you have 2 Raidraptors on the field, you can special summon a Raidraptor monster from your deck. And it's only used once per turn, but it's a continuous, so it stays on the field. But it's good to build up your field, so that way you can get more plays. And then these are the main cards in the deck. So I've got Phantom Knights, Rank Up Force, Phantom Knights, Rank Up Magic Launch, Soul Shave Force, Astral Force, and then 2 Rank Up Skip Forces. These are what you use to rank up all your Exceed monsters and your Raidraptors. I'm choosing to run Astral Force because I like the idea of being able to draw or being able to reuse that card and add it back to your hand instead of having your draw phase. If I got like Field Presence, I'm gonna want to use that effect to be able to pull Astral Force from the graveyard to add it back to my hand and then use that to rank up even higher. So that's why I have it in there. You can use the rank up Phantom Knights Force if you want instead, but I like having just one of each in there for, you know, variety and flavor. And then for the rest of the spells and stuff, I'm going to have 1 Swords just to stop my opponent for 3 turns, Harpy's Feather Duster, Raigeki, and then 1 copy of Foolish Burial, just so that way you can put a monster in the graveyard. You can put the Mimicry in there, so that way you can search your deck for a Raidraptor and add it to your hand. Alright guys, that's going to be it for the spells. Now let's move on to the traps. Okay, so we've got 1 copy of Phantom Knight's Claw. This is a good counter. If you don't want to run this, you can run Fogblade. This is a really good card because if a monster's effect is activated, you detach material from your Dark Exceed monster, which is everything in this deck, and it negates the activation. And if it was a Phantom Knight or Raidraptor or XYZ monster card, this control, the attack, it goes up by the original attack of the monster that was used for it. So it's a really good way to negate your opponent's stuff, and you can also get some extra attack points from it. Like I said, if you want to use Fogblade, you can use Fogblade too. And then last but not least, 3 copies of Shade Brigading. This is going to be your searcher. This is going to be your way to get searched out from Rusty Bardiche. You can add this to the field and activate it. And as long as you don't have any traps in your graveyard, which is the main purpose of this deck, you can make this a trap monster, and it's a level 4. Also, it works with the strategy. So if you have this and then Raider's Wing, you can exceed for Dark Rebellion Dragon and then exceed further using a rank ups card to a Dark Requiem, and then it's unaffected by everything, and it has that negate. Alright, that's going to be it for the spells and traps. Now finally, let's move on to the extra deck. So we got 1 copy of Ultimate Falcon. This guy is even better than Full Armor Master, only in my opinion because of the extra 3,500 attack. And I'll give you an example. When I was actually playing a tournament with my wife, this was the 1 card that she was probably the most annoyed by, just because she couldn't get off the field. It negated all her monster's effect and everything when I attached an Exceed material, and it was unaffected by everything. So it was really, really hard to get off the field, and a lot of people, it's funny to actually look on Reddit and see people fighting strategies to get him off the field, using cards like Lava Golem or Volcanic Queen or something, stuff that you would never normally even see in a deck, just specifically for him. Then I've got Satellite Cannon. This is a really good. It requires 2 level 8 Winged Beast monsters, or you can just rank them up. And he lowers your opponent's monster's attack by 800 points. And they can't activate. He destroys all spell and traps on the field, and they can't activate anything in response to that. So it's a good way to lower your opponent's monster's attack, and it also negates spells and traps for the remainder of the turn. Got 1 Raidraptor Arsenal Falcon. Arsenal Falcon is great because you can use him to search for another Raidraptor, so him and Ystrix actually go hand in hand. Revolution Falcon and then Revolution Falcon Air Raid, these are really good. Because if Air Raid gets destroyed, you can special summon Revolution Falcon from your deck, so it's a good way to get another monster on the field. Then you've got one copy of Raidraptor Stranger Falcon. You don't have to have this. I have this in here because it's a rank 5, and I actually do use it quite a bit to rank up in my plays. And then we've got the dreaded Cyber Dragon Infinity. Now, you guys know by now, based off my other deck profiles and stuff, what this does. And this is why he's perfect for this deck, because it's an easy way to get it out. And unlike Cymoon the Poisonous Wind in my Blackwing deck, this deck isn't limited to just dark monsters. You can use Cyber Dragon Infinity a lot easier in here. And then we've got one copy of XYZ Dark Rebellion Dragon and then Dark Requiem. Dark Requiem is what you're going to want to bring out in this deck because he's unaffected by card effects, and he also has another effect where he lowers your opponent's monster's attack and adds it to himself, and he can negate effects potentially if he has an exceeded material, and if you have Raider's Wing on him, it prevents it to where he cannot be destroyed by card effects, you know, either way anyways. Then we've got two copies of two Raidraptor Force Strix. This is what you use to search your deck for a Raidraptor monster and add it to your hand to special summon. Because you guys have to remember, Raidraptors don't have the whole Board of the Spirit Gale. They're kind of like one-trick ponies. You special summon them from your hand, and then that's all that you're going to be able to do. You're not going to be able to get that, you know, that synergy or be consistent about it. You'll unfortunately have to use Force Strix to get the monster out and then special summon it. Sadly, that's the only downside to Raidraptors, but I guess they couldn't be like Blackwings like that. I mean, they do have a lot of really good effects, though. And then for the Link monsters, you got two copies of Raidraptor Ystrix. This is how you get your Zephyros the Elite or get another rank 4 and set up for your plays. And then one Appaloosa, Bow of a Goddess. She starts negating effect, and she's very easy to bring out. And then last but not least, I got a copy of the Rusty Bardiche. Or if you want to, call him Rusty Shackleford for all those people who know about King of the Hill. Rusty Bardiche or Rusty Shackleford is what you're going to use to dump Phantom Knight into your the Silent Boost into your graveyard to get a rank up spell or get Shade Brigadine or Phantom's Claw. Alright, that's going to be it finally for this deck profile, and I know you guys waited quite a bit for this. There was a lot of stuff that I had to get for it, and just in general, it took forever with the mail. With everything how it is right now and stuff, the mail took way much longer. So, and I'm just glad that I was able to finally get it out for you for Christmas so you can watch it. Alright, that's going to be it for this deck profile, and I really hope you guys enjoyed that. And with that, see you guys next time. Later.